buyers are buying and the sellers aren't really selling. We're in multiple offers again, and this market doesn't really make sense. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Durham Region. I'm a real estate broker here in the Greater Toronto area. I help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with me, feel free to book a meeting through the first link in the bio. But let's get started. Average selling price in the GTA for the month of February was $1,095,617 to be exact, which is about an 18% drop from February 2022, which was the absolute peak of the market. Now the number of sales have also gone down 47%, meaning we're only selling half as many homes as we did a year ago. Now the question is, why are we seeing multiple offers? What does this all mean? So let's break it down to you one by one. I'm gonna share my screen with you. First of all, let me break down what is happening here in the Durham region. That's where I predominantly work in. And if you notice, the average sale price in the Durham region was $884,000 for the month of February, which remains unchanged from the prior month of January. But compared to the peak, we're down, like I said, about 28% or $340,000 on average. Now, if you notice what I'm looking at here, the most active price points that we're seeing is the 700s and the 800s. Anything under $1 million in Durham is selling very, very quickly, but the two most active price points that I can personally speak from my experience and also from my colleagues and what I'm seeing is the 700 to 800,000 price point. This is where you can find a freehold townhome and some freehold detaches depending on the age, or even some duplexes around this price point, and this is why it's been super high in demand. Another thing to note is the average days on the market. So what's really happened is that in January we've had relatively low amount of listings, but we also had a relatively low amount of sales. In February, our number of sales have actually gone up considerably compared to January, but the new listings that hit the market didn't really change. Actually, we had very few listings in February, and that's why the old listings are being bought up right now, and that's why you're seeing average days on the market coming down considerably. You're also seeing homes getting multiple offers, and also it's because listing agents and sellers are artificially pricing their homes much lower than the market value to create what's called a bidding war. So if you notice on the screen here, majority of the sales in the Durham region for the month of February were detaches, and condo apartments actually only make a very few or very small percentage of the total sales, which is very normal. But if you actually go to for example, a place like Toronto, City of Toronto or Mississauga, you're going to see more condos or condo apartments. But in Durham, we're very it's low density, so you're going to see a lot more of the detaches rather. Or townhomes. Average days on the market was 17 days. Median days on the market is 9. Keep in mind, we also have homes here that have been sitting on the market for very long, so that could skew the average days on the market. But if you look at the median days, that's pretty accurate. I've been putting in offers with my buyers here in the last couple of weeks, left and right, and almost everything has been in multiples, especially for those homes that are priced below $800,000. It's not rare to see them going to 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 plus offers on offer dates. Almost every home that's listed below $800,000 is holding offers. So one good thing to note is if you're a buyer in this market right now, you're buying for a freehold townhome or house or semi in the Durham region, note that the price that you see on realtor.ca or House Sigma, that's not the actual price that the seller wants. That's the bidding price to get you to lure into the home, and they can bid up the price from there. So make sure you're working with someone who actually knows the market and can give you an honest opinion on the price. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that these are average GTA prices. And the thing is that GTA is so big and dense that we have so many different areas. So depending on which submarket you look at, you could have very different numbers than what I'm showing you here. For example, some markets could have performed or they've held up against the rate hikes much better than certain areas. And I can tell you personally that in Durham region here, we've seen our biggest price drop last summer from when the Bank of Canada first announced rate hikes. We had a very sharp decline, and prices have been pretty steady since last summer. I mean, I could even argue that in certain pockets, prices have been coming back up. Are we going back to the crazy prices of 2022 where everyone's gonna bid and go nuts? Well, not so fast. I'm gonna break everything down and I'm gonna summarize it in the simplest form possible. For one, we have buyers. And I think majority of the buyers now think the rates are high, and I can see that majority of buyers think that the prices will probably drop more. And on the other side, we got sellers who think that this is probably the bottom of the market and they don't really want to sell. Sure, there are some sellers who can't afford their mortgage payment because of the adjustable variable rates, but people that have got into the market years back think that this is the bottom of the market and we're gonna bounce right back up. I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. This is just the dynamic in the market right now. So we got buyers who don't want to buy right away because they think the prices will drop further, and we got sellers who don't want to sell right now because they think this is the bottom of the market. Now, this really comes down to who will cave in first. And I've been getting a lot of calls lately from buyers thinking this may be the bottom of the market, or they think the rates will come down next year, so they want to get into the market. And along with that, as you can see in the stats, sellers still aren't selling. So buyers are out there right now looking for homes, but there isn't much to look at. That's why you're seeing that combined with artificially low listing prices, is that's what's creating this insane bidding wars that we're seeing right now, where you're seeing 5, 10, 15 plus offers, which, to be honest, none of us thought was going to happen. The market got some life back into it. Why the bidding wars all of a sudden? For one, sellers don't want to sell at current prices, so there's very limited inventory. On the other hand, buyers are creeping back into the market. Buyers may want to get into the market for a number of reasons. Maybe A, the rent has gone up so much that they think it's better to pay a high interest mortgage than to rent, or maybe because they think Bank of Canada will drop interest rates next year and they want to time the market and get in now rather than waiting until the markets pick back up. Again, I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. It's just the dynamic in the market today, and that's why you're seeing multiples in today's market.